And now, pre-recorded from Pacific Lutheran University, it's Late Night. With hosts Madison Willis and Matthew Tolar.
Hello, my name is Madison Willis.
And my name is Matthew Tolar.
And welcome to Late Night.
You know what?
Oops. I promise we practiced this. It's okay.
Yeah.
And we can have one more try.
One more time. Yeah,
Sure.
we can do it. Let's go.
And welcome to Late Night.
I felt that one in my soul.
Ow. Okay.
Okay. Third time's the charm.
Ooh.
Three magic number.
I'll breathe before you.
Okay.
And then we'll both
I'll
go
go
at
off
the same
your
time.
breath. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So you'll go on my breath, and then you'll go on the and. Here we go.
Okay.
And welcome to Late Night. That seemed like you were really okay. Never mind.
Okay.
We're just we'll
Whatever.
skip it. Allie will edit it out.
Move it past us.
Here we are.
Put it behind us and move on.
Yeah. No one will be able to know. We'll just do this bit.
Yeah.
Here we go. We just and welcome to Late Night.
But it's not nighttime. This is pre-recorded.
Not important though.
Like, this isn't even live anymore. Like, we're recording this on a Tuesday.
All right, and that's enough, Matthew. Thank you for your input. Anyways, for those of you who don't know, Late Night is an on-campus talk show that used to be pre-recorded in a live studio audience with real people laughing, clapping, and yes, breathing with their friends.
But the air is trying to kill us now, so we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, so obviously things have changed a little bit since our last pre-recorded show in March.
Yes, like when it's your turn to study abroad in J-term, but the only country accepting U.S. citizens is Albania.
They do? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I'll book a flight. Or when you can't go out and get your hair cut and your head starts to look like a feral cat.
Yeah, and then like all the other cats around the neighborhood start trying to mate with your hair cat, but you're like, no, stop! It's not a real cat, it's just hair. And they're like, and then you like scratches all over your thighs.
Yeah, it's like that's a very specific story.
Summer was
speaking from experience.
I might know a few guys that it happened to, or yeah. Or, like, when you're tired of the cats attacking your head, so you decide to give yourself a haircut. And that...
Yeah. That makes sense, Matt. That makes sense.
Summer was hard.
It's okay. No. You covered it up really well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it matches the mustache. I really like
it.
Oh,
yeah. I worked really hard. I got some cream.
Absolutely. The grooming and everything. I'm loving the chiseled look.
Oh, thank you.
Or... Also, like, when you're graduating and you're supposed to be the biggest moment of your life, and instead of the dean of students handing you your diploma, it ends up being Phil from UPS.
Look, I know Phil personally. He is honestly doing his very best. He's trying to, like, make it personal. He reads your diploma, then knows your name, and he says hello.
It's not the same.
Okay, I guess you're right. Obviously, as you guys know, in March, we're all taken off guard by the coronavirus, leading to the cancellation of Madison's last show.
Yeah, wow. Oh my goodness. Remember March? Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
I remember March. You had the cool poster.
Times,
you had the explosion behind you. Yeah, it's good times.
Gosh. You know what? Let's do it.
What?
Yeah, let's just do the March show.
What about me?
Actually, yeah.
How did we get
host last season, so it doesn't really matter. He comes in, let's just do the March show. Get out of here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to March. I hope you are all enjoying spring. I know I am. Actually, I had a pretty great weekend. My whole family came together. I'm talking all 10 of my aunts, uncles, and their kids. It was great. We spent the first 10 minutes actually hugging and embracing, gearing up that physical touch. Wasn't it amazing? It was so nice because we don't really see them that often because, they're halfway across the country. And so it's just, nothing really replaces how you can properly communicate without really being in the same room together,
All right.
I know that never really goes away.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Haha,
in
so funny. Back
other
to current
news,
news.
a 16-year-old rock climbing prodigy, Colin Duffy, is the youngest first USA Olympic climbing team member, an event that will brand the new 2020 Olympic Games. Are you excited? Because I am.
Really, Madison?
Summer's coming up, and here at Late Night, we have prepped a list of fun activities for you to enjoy. Mark your calendars, friends, because June is not only just gearing up for a glitter-filled Pride Month full of rainbows, rascals, and gay rights, but also we have rapper 69, who is fresh out of jail and has planned an exclusive concert on a commercial airline flight from New York City to LA, an event that Complex Magazine has called to die for.
Madison.
Oh my goodness. Moving on.
Madison, we talked about this. I specifically asked you not to relive last year.
But
the Olympics were canceled. You know that.
Colin Duffy was going to be
and a concert on an airplane. Are you kidding me?
I thought it sounded really fun, wouldn't you?
Well, some ideas sound better in concept, but then actually don't work out. Because how am I supposed to get with all my buddies and then wave 6'9" from first class all the way down the cargo on a plane? It's not going to work out.
Crowd surfing with the luggage. I don't know. They have wheels.
Look, Madison, I know the last few months have been tough, but that doesn't mean we can't look forward to this school year, especially at PLU. How does that sound, Madison?
All right. Okay. Though I love the past, we can't keep living in it. You're right.
Exactly. Let's move
on. Move on. Here we are.
Let's get down to PLU news. In a recent interview with PLU's president, Belton reassured Governor Inslee that PLU students do not party. Wait a minute. Does this mean you're not down for a drink anymore, Belton?
Not sure what was going on. I thought there might be beer, but there isn't.
Want to go get some?
Sure.
Yeah, shut the camera
off. Worried about coronavirus on campus? Don't worry. PLU has you covered with their brand new coronavirus tracking meter. Like, what? Seriously. What does this meter mean?
What's happening?
It looks like that dial we used at preschool with the farm animals on it. You know, when you spin it, they go tinky, 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 turn and go on the cow and it go moo. Except instead of farm animals, this dial has death sentences. What happens at level 6, Belton? Tell me.
Well, just like coronavirus has affected everyone in our communities, just like we are now currently online, there have been a number of different events that have affected our lives over these past couple of months. So, all jokes aside, before we break, I'd like to take this moment to talk a little bit more about something relatively serious. I would like to talk about this most recent police shooting against Jacob Blake. It would be remiss of me to say that these vile acts against George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Jacob Blake, and countless others are merely just products of bad apple cops or our country's recent history. I know that, like many of you, I have felt an incredible anguish, confusion, and rage over these past several months. And I know that many of us feel like no matter how many rallies we attend, or articles and books we read, or donations we make to social programs, nothing seems to change. But I'd like to say that we have all changed. And because I know that from this last few months, we have seen this country coming together and supporting each other in such incredible ways. So I know that stepping into this new year, at least I hope, that we are all working together so much harder to fight for the welfare of our communities. And we cannot stop fighting for our friends, our families, our teachers, our service workers, our neighbors, and our communities so that we can have a better life. So, to those of you who feel helpless and lost in the dark like I do, I hope you remember that there are people fighting for you and for us. And I hope that someday, soon, you can also do the same.
Very well said, Madison. And on behalf of the late night team, we are going to continue the fight for every PLU student because Black lives matter. And we are more than happy to share this show with you all. All right, we have a great show for you all today and a special interview and musical performance by Adrian Milanio. So stick around and we'll be right back after a brief message from our non-sponsors.
Hi, I'm Mark. And like most people, I believe there's nothing better than sharing this special season with a special someone. But like most people, I find myself being romantically crippled by the holiday sniffles. And believe me, nothing kills the holiday mood than sneezing directly into your lover's mouth. And I speak from experience. Achoo! That's why when Jack Frost comes nipping at my nose, I reach for Chimney Sniff. It's the spherical miracle that's sure to have her coming back from Merck. With its patent-pending design that is currently endorsed by 2006 Olympic gold medalist Armin Ziegler, this snot blocker is sure to prevent your cold from snowballing out of control.
Chimney Sniff is not for everyone. Side effects may include headaches, chills, fever, bloating, death, or an even worse cold. Do not take if you were abandoned at a strip mall at the age of 5. In this case, you may experience slight to excruciating kneecap pain. Do not use if you have recently taken up scrapbooking as a hobby. Do not take if you are pregnant or currently looking to adopt. If you have a loved one who is currently using Chimney Sniff, instruct them to daily recite the alphabet in enthusiastic tone. If you are using Chimney Sniff to travel to the following places: Guatemala, South Sudan, Papua New Guinea, North Korea, and most of all Connecticut, do not use. If you find yourself having the sudden urge to secede from the United States, please consult your local librarian immediately. Chimney Sniff is prohibited in intercontinental flights and in certain Apple stores, as its mere presence may cause spontaneous combustion. If you think that Chimney Sniff is right for you, please consult your doctor.
Chimney Sniff, because sharing isn't always caring.
I will be finding that pewters whether or not it's my death.
Now, I brought you here today for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to capture the big moose. Yeah!
Yeah!
Now, some might think that this beautiful creature is 10 feet under the dirt, but that just ain't true. His horns ain't hanging up on this thing, that's just a fake and a lie. I'ma tell you what the real truth is, Buke is actually my great-great-great-pappy. And he was a boy, he had a moose. They grew up together, they trained together, they ate together, they became strong together. When Buke left, he left it with a beautiful, majestic, strong moose, and he's the strongest creature ever known to man, and he's still out there. Hey. Have you heard of Peters? It's out on the loose. Have you ever heard of it? Dangerous. It's pretty darn dangerous. Have you heard of it? So it doesn't seem like we're getting any leads
on where this bug moose might be. People aren't being very helpful for this investigation, but I won't let that get in the way of this industry. I will be finding that bug moose whether or not it's my death. Come on!
I am 110% sure that we're gonna find this thing tonight. My nose is never wrong. I found everything from squirrels in my backyard to a half-eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwich on my driveway.
It's ready. It's ready! This contraption, this trip, is gonna catch the bug moose.
I've watched a lot of WWE in preparation for this test of honor. I'll probably never get this opportunity again, and I can only pray to my grandpappy Bug, to the power of 8, that I will be given and granted the strength to tame this wild beast.
He's close. I can smell it.
Shut up, Travis, to scare him away. Alright, it's time to attract my brethren.
While we wait for that here call to take its course, we just wanted to give a chance to congratulate Merv on his trap.
You know, boys, I don't think I could have done it without you two. I think, honestly, that there trap, best trap I ever made.
Oh yeah, trap's so good it almost caught me.
I believe it. It's gotta work. It super has to work. Really does.
Oh, well.
Boys, there he is!
I kicked him. I wrestled him. And you rejected my offer. He's gone.
The Bug Moose rejected my offer of companionship. And instead, he declared Bug war! After a brief, blissful moment, he overpowered my wrestle and kicked me in the jaw and broke 3 of my ribs. The only reason why I ain't physically injured is because the kick was so powerful that it damaged my soul instead of my body. Get it!
Hey, down here. You know, the love of Christ is an omnipresent mystery that has perplexed theologians for years. But not me. Hi, I'm Rex Tillman, author and leader of the Faithful Hearts Youth Group at my church. I want to tell you about my new book, From Crosses to Crossroads, My Journey Through Christ. Buy my book. When I was a kid, I used to carve dirty words on logs to impress the older kids at school, only to have said logs thrown directly back at me. Ah! I said. I never forgot about that. Buy my book. Every morning, I wake up and my wife makes me 6 eggs with half a pound of hash browns. Then, I pack my lunch of 15 Uncrustables for the day, because crust is like the gambling. It's just the work of the devil. Buy my book. As a father of 3 young, beautiful, identical twin daughters and a disappointingly feminine son, Lord knows my patience can be tested. Can yours? Buy my book. Every other day, I wake up with a killer stomach ache. My wife tells me it's due to the fact that I drank Gatorade recreationally, but I know better. It's because I ran out of Tums. Buy my book. When I was in youth group, I was an outcast for not drinking underage, but now I'm a celebrated author with dozens of fans. The only thing I drink is black coffee and the divine knowledge of Christ. Buy my book. I give pop-up sermons at campuses all across the US of A. If you want to know what I put in them, buy my book. And for those of you who can't read, there's an audiobook. read by my pastor and personal spiritual mentor, Dr. Douglas Hofstadter.
Buy his book.
If the Lord is with you, or even if he ain't, buy my book.
Order now.
Welcome
Hey,
back to Late
everyone.
Night Google Meet Edition.
We have a really special guest here for us tonight. Our performer who's actually going to be performing for you just a little bit. It's Adrian Milanio. How are you doing, Adrian?
Hey, Madison, good to see you. I am doing good. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling all right. It's a nice, bright and sunny day. It was really, really hot outside. I actually had to clear my inbox from my Google Calendar, and I realized that I had nothing to do for the rest of this week, and I was like, what? Yeah, so that's been blowing my mind for a little bit. But yeah, how we doing? That's about me.
Hey, I feel it too, because I just got off my shifts for like the rest of the week, so I got a bunch of this free time that I got to fill up now.
Gosh, nothing on my GCal. I'm like looking on it. Speaking of GCals, we've got Adrian. You are actually a PLU student just a few short years ago. How was it being both a student and trying to break out as an artist?
Sure. Yeah, I graduated at PLU in 2018, so I've been out of college for 2 years now. And to think that I've been out of college for the last 2 years, to me, is almost like, it feels like I graduated yesterday. I actually graduated 2 years ago. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I check my GCAS, I'm like, is there an assignment due, or like whatever the case is, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not in school anymore, I'm not doing anything like that. But I will say that my experience at PLU for music and performing and that sort of thing has been pivotal to just me understanding my process as like an artist. So I took advantage of like all of the opportunities I could with Lollapalooza, performing at Lollapalooza, performing at Late Night, performing at Laser, any sort of SAB events that they offer to like have me perform on, those sorts of things. And I think really those like stomping grounds and those like humble experiences, just being a performer at college, has really paved the way for me to understand who I am as an artist right now. And I'm really appreciative and thankful for that.
That's awesome. And I heard you mention that you performed at different things in PLU before, but you also mentioned performing at Late Night. So I was just wondering, could you talk about the experience performing for us before, and seeing as how we're doing things a little differently now, how that changes things?
Yeah,
Your
for sure.
performance.
Probably so. So this is like my fourth time performing at Late Night. So the first time I performed was, I think, literally like 3 years ago. It was like the first weekend of school, and I was a senior at that time in 2017. And I remember like walking in, like sitting on the couch, because like the cave has like these couches or whatever, and like sitting in the back couch, and then seeing the room filled in with people was like, that was a little bit overwhelming for me. And then the room was just packed. So like the cave can probably realistically fit maybe comfortably like 100 people, but there's probably like 150 to 200 people there. It felt like, I don't know if we were actually
packed like sardines.
It was packed like sardines, and I was starting to sweat a little bit in the corner. I was just like, oh gosh, here's like my big moment to shine. But one thing that was interesting is like I engaged with like the audience and participate and get interviewed. That was probably like one of my first interviews ever too, with Sam. And that sort of thing was like humbling for me. And then I think as I continued to do more late nights, I've gotten more comfortable. And like I remember that weekend, like I think I had like 50 listeners on Spotify. They were like mostly all my friends. But after I did that show specifically over the weekend, I probably gained like 250 listeners. And then that paved the way for me to develop like a fan base on Spotify now, which is a little bit bigger than like just 250, 300 people. But that sort of experience for me was just super humbling, and to be able to see the growth over like the last few years doing late night is just super, it blows my mind sometimes to see how far I've came, and I'm super thankful for late night.
Yeah, and you're getting your groove. That's awesome. What was your favorite experience like on late night, and how could that launch your career, and how could late night help you in order to launch your career?
Sure, yeah. So I think just going through the process of even like the small stuff that people don't even pay attention to, like getting there on time to do it, like the check-in and the sound check, making sure that I have like all like the gear that I need, and going through that like system of like being like an artist. Like there's a professional side to it, and that means like communicating when I needed to, and then just also just developing and understanding the process of like being a performer and entertainer and having fun with the show. I mean, I think the first show I played like a game, and the game was super fun, and just that sort of thing. Like those experiences are things that I will never take for granted. I always will think fondly of for sure. And I think late night really paved the way for me to understand what it's like to be like a working professional in the context of an artist. And I think taking that and going forward when shows start to open back up, like all of the experiences I had doing late night, whether it's online or in person, that sort of thing, is they're gonna pay dividends too. Like when I try and do this thing full time, when things start to open back up, for sure.
That's really cool to hear, especially like hopefully when things go back open, that you'll be able to pave your way forward and find more success through that. Also, since we're doing this show for a lot of people coming into the school, I was wondering if maybe you could tell us your favorite experience as a first year, or maybe some advice you can give to first years at PLU for their now college adventure that they're going on.
Sure, yeah. So I think my overall hands down favorite experience my first year was studying away. So I got to study away in London during J term, and I don't think at that point, I don't think I've ever been out of the country. So just like being on a plane and then going all the way to Europe to me was like, as a young 19-year-old kid, I was like, oh, this is so awesome. But I had the opportunity to be able to like do some creative like art stuff there. I got to book some time record there, which is super fun. And then just exploring like a different culture that is just unique in itself, and the diversity that's out in London, and being able to take it all in was just super. It was like one of the best experiences I've had, period, at PLU. And then advice that I have for first year students. So I actually still work at PLU. So this is my third year working in academic advising. So like I guess you could say that I have like some information and resources underneath my belt. But one thing that I'll say is that I highly encourage you, especially during a time when things are just different, not just for PLU students, but college students across like the world right now, is to highly take advantage of the resources that we have at PLU. So that's academic advising, that is the academic tutoring. It's part of like your tuition. We also have telehealth, which is new. So like you're able to be seen by like a healthcare professional, like physically and mentally. And I think that follows you during, like if you go off to spring break, or if you're not exactly at PLU. So as long as you have fun, you're going to be able to access some of those resources. So whether or not PLU has resources in person or virtually, they're going to be there for you. And I highly encourage you to be taking advantage of those resources. And if there's something that I wish I would have done as a first year student, is to like just come into the writing center and like have somebody read my paper and not feel like, oh, I don't need it. Because honestly, I probably would have gotten better grades if I would have taken advantage of those resources sooner than I did. So.
Oh man, honestly, I went into the writing center maybe 5 times a semester, and I just sat down being like, please help. And it was really, really so useful. And oh my gosh, you went to London during your J term. What London program did you go on? I actually did a J term in London as well. I did Henry VIII. Was that your kind of program?
I don't know about Henry VIII. So like the actual program,
okay.
The title of the class I think was called Communications in a Professional Setting, and we basically went to a lot of the big tech business sort of companies in London. And one of them I remember was like Accenture, which is all about like program and design and that sort of thing. And we went to a bunch of other places similar to it, and we were basically trying to figure out how do we interact in like the context of like internationally, what it means to be a professional. So we got to go to these different places and explore and that sort of thing. And it was really like a professional development class, I'd say, for the most part. And a lot of the skills and those things that I learned along the way are things that I still use today. So it's a super helpful class, super fun. If I could do it again as a staff member, I would.
So I guess I want to ask you to kind of go back to your artistic career, is with the pandemic keeping everyone at home, like creating and sharing art, like in like your rooms, your house, not in like ways that we used to. What do you think the role of art is going to be in the coming years, and how like it can help us heal from like wounds, or like help us, bring joy and like light, or just the human experience from inside our houses in this new format?
Right. Yeah, no, I hear you. So I think art in general is like art is going to be the landscape and medium that we use to sort of heal or sort of like escape or process the things that are going on in this world. Like obviously we're in a pandemic. There's a lot of social justice movements going about and that sort of thing, and really trying to understand as me being a person like in this big world, what piece do I play in a role? And I think for me as an artist, like I think expressing myself, being able to share how I feel and being able to connect with other people is super important. And I don't think there's a better time than 2020 to do it now with all the things that are accessible out there for artists. So like we have YouTube, we have TikTok, which was bubbling and has erupted since the pandemic started. And I think that there's no better time for you to get out there with your art and to share how you feel about certain things. And I think the beauty of being an artist and being creative now, especially since a lot of the things that we do for art, like we can't necessarily like perform or gig, like it's going to challenge us to figure out how do we be artistic in the midst of where like half of our artistry is cut off. But I think through that, and I've seen it like personally for me and then friends of mine that also do art, I've seen people that have like blown up on TikTok or have gotten their song to go viral and that sort of thing over the last few months. And I think that being able to push creativity into like ways of creating art online and virtually and that sort of thing is going to be the name of the game. I always knew that gigs online and live streams and that sort of thing were always going to happen, but with this pandemic, I think it just accelerated that trend that was going to occur. But like I said, I don't think there's a better time to be an artist right now, and especially since we need it. This art is like there is no way that we can ever compensate or substitute art for anything else. And I really think that this is a testament as an artist to like, how do I become the best artist in the midst of whatever else is going on in the world? And how do I relate to what I'm thinking about and how my art is? And how do I take a piece and make this world better for whatever circumstances going on right now? So those are some things that I'm thinking about right now. But in my own personal life and my own artistry, I try and be humble and relate, connect with people and share. And I mean, just being able to resonate with people that like message me on Instagram or that DM me saying like the music and the art has really like helped them get through their work is super humbling. And I just hope to continue to do that throughout this time and long after the pandemic ends. So
Man, I gotta say, I really love how you said like this year is the best year for artists, especially since like 2020 has been kind of like memed on as being like the worst year to ever exist. Like it's the literal like end of everything as we know, and like to have like this positive spin on something that seems so dark and dreary. I really appreciate that, and I think the new students here will appreciate that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Adrian, for joining us today. We really, really do appreciate it. And in order to support your art, we would really like for everyone to go out and check out his new single, Nowhere, out on Spotify right now. Please go check it out. It's really, really awesome, and you're gonna love it. Also, go check out on our social media, on Late Night's Instagram and Facebook, a photo shoot that we did with Adrian on with all of his social medias. So if you're wanting to get in contact, being able to take a look at that post, and also go ahead and check out his TikTok. It's pretty darn rad.
And we will see you all right after the break. Stay tuned,
Lutz.
Hello, my little good ones. It's me, Aunt Jen.
Action.
Hello, my little good ones. It's me, Aunt Jen. Welcome back to my cooking channel. Today we will be reviewing the cookies that y'all sent in via snail mail.
Everybody loves it.
Creative. I give it 4 freshly lit candles.
Trash.
For the next series of cookies, we will be welcoming a guest onto the show. Please welcome whoever is there the day we shoot.
Whoever is there.
Oh my god.
Hi, Jen. Thanks for having me on.
Be quiet. Be quiet. tuning into my cookie review. Please remember to smash that like button if you want to see more great content like this.
Smash that like button.
Welcome back,
Hey,
everyone.
welcome back. It's the end of our show. We are so
Yes.
glad that you stuck around with us.
At the very tail end, but we're actually just a little bit more. I have a surprise for you, Madison, actually.
Oh, okay, a surprise,
Yeah,
Matt. That's fun. What kind of a surprise?
I pulled some strings, and by pull some strings, I was in the room where the other people pulled the strings, and I'll take all the
Right,
credit.
yes, of
Yeah.
course.
I actually
Good
got
job.
couple of extra special guests for us to talk to you real quick.
Really?
Yeah.
What kinds of special
Hey!
guests? Oh
Doing?
my God! Hey guys!
Hi! Oh my
What? Oh my
goodness.
gosh! Hello! How you doing? Oh my gosh, Henry, you look like James Dean. I love it.
Oh, yeah, the hair happened. I wasn't able to enter a barbershop for months, and then, yeah. Then I turned into a greaser.
Oh my
Man.
goodness.
It's affecting my attitude. Anyway.
I believe it. Rachel.
Anyway,
beautiful,
so me and
lovely,
Matthew were
gosh.
actually talking, and we actually wanted to take a moment to highlight some of the hosts that graduated last year. David sadly could not make it today, but since your graduation was postponed, you guys lost an episode. We just kind of wanted to take a moment to say goodbye to you guys.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you guys, right before the coronavirus happened, when it started, we were preparing an episode with you two, Rachel and Madison. Can you talk to us about like kind of how that kind of felt? What was going on at that point?
Yeah, Rachel, do you want to go for that one? I know we were really heavily involved, but
Yeah, let's both talk about it. Oh my goodness. It was a heartbreaker, a little bit of a gut wrencher. I think you would agree, Madison, is we had this awesome strong Women's Day show, and we planned this amazing monologue, and we did this awesome photo shoot. I don't know about Madison, but I felt like a really strong woman when we were doing our photo shoot. We had our suits on.
like we felt like secret agents.
Right? Oh my gosh. Epicness.
Totally.
So good. And yeah, it took me a lot of tears and a lot of like positive outlook to get through it, because I was so excited about our show and how we really got to take control of it, and it just was an awesome way to represent women and show women of strength and beauty,
Yeah. I think it was really, really upsetting because we had planned and we had practiced. Like we had canceled our week tech. So like we usually do techs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or 3 days out of the week, and then we have show Friday. And we were going into tech that week for the show, and we had to pack down. And I know plenty of theaters and productions had to shut down, especially during that week. And I know A Piece of My Heart, who was playing last year, had to cancel their last show entirely. So it was heart-wrenching just to be able to know that it was there. We had a product, we were excited about it, and we just didn't get to do it.
Yeah.
But here we
it's
are.
really depressing that all that happened. Yeah, and now we're all back
I was
here,
like, now we made
getting to see our
everyone
goodbyes,
sad.
and I think. But no, I think to try to, I guess, spin it back more to a positive light real quick, I guess I want to ask you guys, like, what was your favorite moment or, like, memory from late night, like, working on it for all those times you had?
Oh my goodness. You want to go first, Madison?
Oh, okay. Yes. So I think what was really magical about this year was because from years previous, the format was just one singular host surrounded by Sam Ellefson, and that was really great. But as soon as he left and his team left, there was kind of a hole that we had to fill in, and so we just really had the opportunity to create the show however we really wanted. And it was wildly stressful to have to reshape the show and revamp it and go into this last year. But we really pulled together. We had a team who's so excited. We had new people coming in every day, and we were like, all right, here's what you get to do. You're on our writing team. All right, do you like cameras? All right, here you go. If you like coils, here you go. This is, do you want to write music? Let's do it. Put you over in that room. Like, it was a great can-do attitude that we had every single day and late night. But I think my favorite, I think my favorite was actually when we were making this movie for it was our Halloween movie. It was like a slasher film. I do not remember that. Friday the 13th slasher movie film. And I was in the comments when we were like, it was film day. We had the script ready. And I just kind of walked up to Rachel and Allie, who was, David, what timing, my buddy?
David.
Hello. Oh, hello, son.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my God, this is magical.
But yeah, I had just kind of skirted around and was like, they didn't have their slasher and their evil villain for this movie, and they had to film in 10 minutes, and I was just sitting there eating my sandwich being like, I have nothing to do. I'll put a mask on and grab a knife and run around in the forest. So it was really fun. It was a, quick 45-minute shoot, and one of my favorites that I just accidentally stumbled upon, but yeah, like a wonderful, magical time. That was probably one of my many favorite memories, but yeah.
It was a beautiful performance, Madison. It was so good.
Oh, you can tell, truly. I'm under a mask.
Yes. Well, I'll talk about mine really quick while I wait for David. My favorite, I got to come in at a really awesome time because I hadn't done late night before, and I was coming in just when Sam had left. So it was a completely new, ready for the taking, ready to rebuild late night. And so I got to just watch and dive in and learn. And what I loved about late night is I could do everything. You weren't really limited to one thing. Like, okay, you're on writing team. That's all you do. No, you can write, produce, you can act, you can be a host, you can help with photo shoots. I loved every part of it. Favorite memory, though? Oh, goodness, that's so hard. I love doing the photo shoots because we had so much fun, and then we could post them on social media, and then we'd have our fans and our followers would just be so awesome reacting. I did love creating games. I think games was one of my favorite. We had it was the Valentine show, and David hosted. Oh, it was glorious. Well, we had a couple show, and where we asked them each other questions, and we had to match up their answers. And it was so funny because if it wasn't equal, the couples would start to do a playful banter, and the audience just soaked it up, and everybody was just dying backstage laughing. It was, I really loved that show. We were stressed out about it, but it just came together so good.
Yeah.
That
was a wild one.
Stressed out friends.
Oh, and for those of you who don't know, Sam Ellefson was a host that was before he was the host. He was the creator of Late Night. He hosted before.
Really?
This is for the viewers that may not know the upcoming.
No, I had no idea.
First years, yes. So yeah, in the year before last year, that's when he created Late Night, and he did a few seasons. He did 2 seasons before, 3 seasons before we actually got started with him. So then, David, you got any? You got favorite memories? Got any?
I do. I got a couple. Yeah, it's. I mean, I think my favorite memory that was recorded live, I think, would have to be when I was trapped in a box for a good 20 minutes as Officer Barrymore.
Oh my God!
Back in, I think that was my junior year or something like that. That was a grand old time, or sophomore year, honestly. But that was fantastic. But I think my favorite moments on Late Night were things that you weren't on that weren't caught on camera. I loved sessions of writing scripts where there was one day where me and Felix were just in a room throwing together that the Greasers sketch that was absolutely plotless and pointless, but it felt like years we were in that back room just throwing things together and throwing ideas, and I want to honestly the sketch itself ended up being 5% of the wild things that happened in that room. and like, so my favorite moments are really just like when random things just kind of come together and kind of come in, like, and just kind of like end up working out. Like, I love, like, it's, to me, I think it's like the most amazing thing in the whole world when like a sketch has so much like, oh, I don't know, behind it. Like, I feel like there's always a time when like someone presents a sketch and you're like, I don't know if like we enjoy that, but I don't know if other people are actually going to like enjoy any of that. And then like, we're like, you know what, screw it. We're going to do it because we like it and we have fun with it. And then like when it happens, like sometimes people enjoy it, but even it goes beyond that. It shatters the fact of the matter if anyone actually enjoys it. Like, as long as we're having a good time are the moments that I've enjoyed the most. Like, sometimes there's moments like I had to make a video like the end of my sophomore year because Colin and Eric were graduating, and it was literally thrown together the day of the show. And it is the most random, like, off the wall video in the whole world. But like, we had so much fun, and Eric and Colin are like some of my best friends that I had made up until that point. And it was just so nice to have like something random that like is like a time capsule for like all of our friendships, and like no matter what, it encased the good times that we had together. You know what I mean? And I love elements like that. But I think one of my favorite memories was actually from this last season. It was like right before the first show, and we were doing the filming of the sketch, like the auditions for like the hosts. Oh my freaking god! I loved every
like a whole day process
filming, and like,
oh my god,
because people like showed up that I knew, like doing things that I never thought they would do, and then there was people I had never heard of that would show up and do things that were just like, that is good, and I would genuinely want that to be on the show at some point.
That seems so funny.
Like Brennan at the table, I died. Like, that was one of the funniest. And Steve as a mime, but also like that video had a lot of like, behind the scene things that weren't like you'll like no one will ever experience except for the people who got to write that sketch or film that sketch. And like there was a moment where like there was this like drinking thing going on at PLU to inaugurate like Alan Belton being the president or something like that. And it was going on in the Commons, and like we were there like filming this sketch and throwing things together till like I don't, like 11 or something, like 10 or 11 at night. And we were just like, it was, I know there was other people there, but I remember distinctly Brennan and Felix and I'm pretty sure Henry or Ray, there was other people there, but it was just like, that's the thing. It was just so chaotic, and we were running around to so many places that like, it was just awesome just to feel so, I don't know, like alive. I don't know. And there was a moment where we had to get like, where we were like, oh, it'd be so great if we can get President Belton in this sketch. And we knew that he was having like this whole like celebration thing going on upstairs. And so like we had to go up there and see if he would be down to do it. And we weren't allowed in because it was like, a drinking thing. And like Felix was like, well, my dad's in there and I can get in there because my dad's in there. But as he's going in, like there's this lady that like this elderly woman that starts flirting with him. It was great. Like it was crazy stuff going, and like there were so many people that he couldn't get to his dad. It was a wild time. But we eventually, like got President Belton out from there, and like and he did a Kermit the Frog impression that like I don't think made it to the final cut, but it was just like, it was so great. It was just,
we had no idea he could do that, by the way. We just emailed him and said, if you have anything, just do it. And then he whips out this Kermit the Frog impression.
It was
immaculate.
It was superb. Yeah. I have a lot of great memories. Those definitely the top couple for sure.
Well, so what we want to do just to like, just to end this out, I wanted to give just one final sign out with you guys because we're gonna miss you so much, and all the work that you guys have done. It really was just incredible to work with you guys. David, writing sketches with you in the room. Madison hosting with you, just one of the best memories I've had. And then Rachel, like we were talking about that host auditions thing. I came to Rachel with that idea. I said, Rachel, I have this idea for a host sketch, and she's like, all right, these are the things we can't do. This is how we're gonna do it. And that whole sketch would not have even happened without Rachel. She was the one who emailed Belton. She was the one who lined everything out and made everything so easy for everyone. And the people that acted in that, it was just amazing. And I really appreciate the time that I have with you guys. And I know that everyone on the staff does too as well.
Yeah.
Gosh,
how do we do this like together? This is gonna be difficult.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sad. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sad.
All right, you know what? We're just gonna do it
One last time. Here we go.
one last time. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, from all of us together as a group, for one last time. 1, 2.
Stay nice.
Bye, guys.
All right, see you guys.
Bye. Love you guys.
All right. See ya.
Me too. See you guys.
Signing off.
Wow.
Whew.
Well, stay tuned, guys, because we'll be right back with more.
I hate quarantine, but I love late night.
We love late night.
This may be as close to outdoors as I get, but I still love late night.
I love late night.
Winston loves late night. Yes, you do.
I love late night.
You know what I love? Late night. Woo-hoo! All the way from Vancouver, Washington, it's McKenna Warren, and I love late night.
My name's Delaney. I'm in Spokane, and I love late night.
I love late night. I love late night.
I love late night.
They're all gone now.
Yeah.
New show, new season, I guess.
You ready?
Yeah. What do we do now?
The only thing we can do, Matthew. Marketing. Hey, you.
Yeah, you right there in the shirt.
Yeah, we see you. Nice shirt, by the way.
Yeah, nice shirt. I like the color.
I like the way it has sleeves and a neck hole. You like comedy, don't you?
You like making people feel good?
You like creating a warm feeling inside?
Do you like turning on the heater and laying down in a nice warm bath with a glass of water by the side?
Oh, Matthew, that's not what we're doing.
Right, comedy.
Anyways, shirt person, you like what you see? You want to be part of this? Well, what if I told you all of this is possible?
Would you like to be viewed, looked at,
Matthew, what are you doing?
seen and admired from afar for other people's enjoyment?
I'm starting to feel like people might take this the wrong way, Matthew. Maybe we should.
What could they possibly take wrong about me saying that they can audition for one of the 2 open host slots where we talk and get looked at for the enjoyment of all the people watching here today and in the future?
You know what? I think you're onto something. If you or a loved one is experiencing a lack of happiness and or purpose in life, then late night might be for you. Contact us at latenightplutv.edu.
Join us now, or like whenever, whichever day suits you best. It could be
really like
tomorrow.
anytime, wide open.
Yeah. We got the new email. I got time. You can hit me up.
Even if you like want to just like hang out and like play cards or something.
Yeah,
from afar, of course, but like distance. Right.
We need more friends.
Anyway, all right. That's it for today's show. We'll see you October 10th, where Matthew and I will be the hosts.
From all of us here quarantined at home.
Stay nightly.
Stay nightly, Lutes.